Only 50 years ago, Neil Armstrong became the first man to ever walk on the moon. It was 1969. And Apollo 19 was the space flight used to land on the moon. Today, 50 years after, 100,000 times the computational power that brought Apollo 19 to the moon is in our pockets, just with a smartphone. Why I'm saying this? Well, I want you to really understand the pace of the change we live in and what this pace of change actually means. Well, it means we are not living an age of change, rather a change of age. And that's why we speak about transitions, and namely just or fair transitions. A just transition seeks to ensure that the substantial benefits of a green and digital economy transition are shared widely, while also supporting those who stand to lose economically, be they countries, regions, industry, communities, workers, or consumers, or citizens. Someone said we are living the third industrial revolution. And every time we live an industrial revolution, people start looking at social innovation. Social innovation was not invented a few years ago by the European Commission. We have documents speaking about social innovation coming from the 19th century. So this is a good angle to get the main point about the social innovation debate. So what is social innovation? Well, social innovation is a complex process through which new products, processes, or programs are introduced, leading to a deep change in daily routines, resources streams, power relations, or values within the system affected by the innovation. And this is a way to define social innovation. But a more pragmatic approach would suggest that social innovations are defined as new solutions, products, services, models, markets, processes, etc., new solutions that simultaneously meet a social need more effectively than existing solutions and lead to new or improved capabilities and relationships and better use of assets and resources. In other words, social innovations are both good for society and enhance society's capacity to act. Let's think, for example, to a program that helps people rethinking their relationship with food, and in this way dealing with increased risk of blindness, kidney failure, heart diseases for those diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Or think to a business using workforce as a means to empower women victims of domestic violence. Again, think about those initiatives dealing with homeless and other marginalized or vulnerable groups, using training and technology to bring them back into the local communities. Social innovation is not a magic trick, nor a panacea, and it doesn't need to be a kind of exotic practice. It's just a change in the way things have been done in the past, often leveraging on new relationships and new knowledge. Social innovation, so it's mainly two things. First, an emergent phenomenon that raises when our societies face grand challenges. So it's fair to say social innovation is the way in which our resilience as human beings and communities get in motion. Second, social innovation is something we need to nurture and cultivate with the aim of ensuring the direction of the change goes along with our desire and much needed future. Resilience at individual and community level, together with the future we aim for, are the two main trends, two main futures, regional and local governments have to figure out when planning their policies. To this extent, social economy is a formidable ally to leverage on social innovation for a just transition. But how do how to do all this? How can we make social innovation work? How can we bring social innovation as an emergent, bottom-up and almost spontaneous phenomenon to be an operational concept? In other words, how to move from ideas to action? Well, first of all, I would say we need a mindset shift. We need to move from being problem solver to be solution driven. In other words, we need to forget about sectorial approaches and think about exit strategies. Our exit strategy. What is the future we want to live in? What we want to achieve once social innovation is over? Do we want to have more inclusive society, more cohesion? We want to build knowledge? Well, this is a list of examples of questions that we can ask ourselves when dealing with social innovation. So that's why I will conclude that social innovation asks us to adopt a futures-oriented thinking, to become able to envision the future scenarios for our broader society or our small community, or future scenario for a specific aspect of our lives, such as housing, aging, or other fields. And then, if we really want to look at social innovation as an emergent phenomenon that could help us shaping a just transition, and if we really want to be sure we achieved or got closer at least to the future we aim at, well, we should also consider how we measure the impact social innovation is able to generate. To this extent, impact measurement and management is a big cultural shift. That's why I believe that many regional and local programs have today a big opportunity ahead of them, and namely to act as pioneers in the field, daring to leave behind payments for outputs or even worse, inputs, linking instead funding opportunities to rigorous assessment of produced outcomes. For sure, this will be the way in which we will build on social innovation for a just transition. Thank you.